Go flying by, won't slow down no matter how I try. Like a leaf blowing down the street, heading down to the sea. Feel like I'm spinning round in a dream, tumbling down like falling leaves. Where I'm heading I don't know, I guess wherever the wind may blow. Sometimes I get to feel low down, you strap it up and head down the road. Kick that rock, let it know how I feel, tumbling down like falling leaves. Up and down, he's chasing me all around. String was sweet, but now it's gone. Fall is coming, I smell it in the ground. Turning brown where it once was green, tumbling down like falling leaves.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, that one's on our new album. If you'd like to check it out.
Well, I'm going to Brownsville, take that right road. Oh, well, I'm going to Brownsville, take that right road. Oh, well, I ain't stop walking till I find my mama's door. Oh, well, the girl I love, she got great long and curly hair. Oh, well, the girl I love, she got great long and curly hair. And I'm on and I'm talking with it, just allow me there.
All right, it is a Monday night here at 88 Keys, and we are live with Mr. Brian Lee and his trio this evening. Oh, thank you very much for your applause. Turn your lights on. Yeah, flick your bics, whatever. An excellent night of music. We are enjoying the Brian Lee Trio, and Hank Yonda on the bass, and Mr. Russ Kammerer on the drums. Oh, thank you. I work on that with you. I work on that with you. It's an instructional evening, yes.
Me too.
We have a couple of veterans in the scene. You guys have been playing for decades for many great artists in Pioneer Square, as a matter of fact. Here we are in Pioneer Square. And another great artist on stage, Mr. Brian Lee, who leads the Blues Orbiters. So tell me what's different about the trio than the Orbiters. What's good for you in this combination?
Well, the trio is basically the same band, but without another guitar player. And sometimes in the Orbiters we have another guitar player plus another sax. But usually it's a four-piece. But the trio is kind of designed to go into smaller venues, smaller clubs, bistro-style places, a little lower volume, a little lower key. And that was the original intent, but it's kind of grown to where really, for me at least, and I think these guys would agree, it's kind of its own entity as far as the feel that you get with a trio. It's a little more spacious and open, and we do a little bit different material. And it's really kind of developed into a really nice thing that's not really just driven by the economics or size of the space, but you know, it's a different musical entity. So it's worked out really nice. The Orbiters is going strong. We've got, you know, the four-piece Orbiters have a new album out. It's doing real well. And yet the trio also, you know, provides us some flexibility for different venues and also gives us a different musical sound.
This is a pro talking. He knows how to keep gigging in a tough economy. There you go. A trio does that. And bistros, they love having music, but they often have a little corner to stand. You know, how do you drum up new business? How do you go out there? Do you just knock on doors cold, or do you find a lead from another guy, another band member?
All of those. Yeah. One of the bistro-style places that we play, a little place in Des Moines, that's what I did. Walked in, they were just beginning music, and got to know the owners, and they were interested in doing some blues as well as jazz, so we became kind of a perfect fit there, and we play there all the time. And so that is the Scotch and Vine down in Des Moines. Yeah, it's right on Marine View Drive. It's a great little place, just down from the old movie theater there. Yeah, pretty frequently.
Yeah, you have a regular stop there, and that's one of those little intimate joints that we love. And now, what's one of your favorite rooms in town? Do you have? I know that's a political question, isn't it? Wait, never mind. Let me back up. Let me talk about your songs.
Several favorites.
You want to say? You want to answer that?
Well, of course, there's in New Orleans, you know, that we played for years. That we really loved Gay, and we're hoping that they continue. And Highway 99 is a great club. The Scotch and Vine, we love playing there. Again, in different styles, lower volume, smaller scale, but they're real intimate. So there's a lot of great clubs around. Yeah.
Well, and
Rockfish Grill.
there you go.
Rockfish Grill in Anacortes is a favorite.
And it takes business sense to get in this business, doesn't it? I mean, you can't just be good at playing music and look sexy on stage. Right?
Well, I could maybe play music. I'm not sure about the latter. But
All right, so let's talk about these songs. You know, I was thinking about during Brownsville, going to Brownsville. I mean, that's a great track, of course, but then why is it that that's a song that jumps out? There's so many songs you could cover, and why is it that that one speaks to you? What is it about that tune? Is it just getting some Sleepy John Estes in your set, or what's?
Well, I like the Sleepy John Estes stuff, and then early on I was influenced by Ry Cooder a lot, and he did an early version in his repertoire. I think the first album had a version of that, either the first or second. So I kind of enjoyed that, although he's playing it on mandolin as well as the slide. And then it just kind of evolved from there, and our arrangement's completely different than any of those, but it's just kind of evolved into the way we like to play it. Yeah, it's a classic tune.
It is. Well, and when you talk about arrangements, is it just by feel? Do you glance? Is it an icon? What makes a good arrangement for you?
Well, as an example on Brownsville, that's a good example. Mr. Kammerer here does a fine job, because I don't know if you noticed, but I'm sure you did. It starts off kind of mellow and gentle, and it kind of builds, and the pattern of what he's doing on the drums changes with every 12 bars, and it kind of accentuates and builds as it goes. So that build is what really creates some excitement, even though it starts off kind of mellow. So the key is Mr. Kammerer there.
Yeah, you start a good band with a good drummer, and very subtle stuff like that is what, like you say, builds the song, and pretty soon we don't even know why we're crazy dancing on the floor, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's a great example of that.
Good one, Russ. You got any comments on that one, Russ? How is that for you on arrangement?
Oh, it's fun. It's fun. Yeah, you get to you know, playing with these guys and Hank, you could, anything that comes to mind. It feels natural and it works, you know, if you got guys that are listening.
Oh, good. That's the key word, isn't it? It is listening to each other that makes a good band. I know I suggest that to people sometimes about how it's almost like sex, right? It's a level of intimacy that you, when you're listening to each other. I mean, Hank knows this. Hank knows this. You're singing, you're playing an instrument. There's a lot of listening to do with each other, and the best bands, of course, best players can, of course, step right up. Hey, Hank. Who'd you learn to sing from?
In church. And the choir.
Where was that?
And in school, also the school choir. Superior, Wisconsin.
Wisconsinian here in the
yeah.
Now, what's your role in a good arrangement?
What's my role in a good arrangement? The role of the bass. Spell out the chords and stay out of the way of the leading tones there from the melody.
I'll just add something though, like that Identity Set song that we did earlier, the kind of the slower Latin feel. I mean, that Hank's part in that is absolutely key to establishing the feel of the song. The way he leads it off and just carries the thing through. It just creates this great vibe. It's him that's really making that happen.
It's easy. Russ, the guy swings so hard and he's so smooth that it just makes it like butter.
Like butter. Well, and you're like butter too, you know.
So we have this new album, Identity Theft, and it's all original tunes, and it's available as a CD, but it's also available right from our website. You can download it song by song, individual songs, or the whole album. And I've got it set up so if you download the whole album, you also get this little PDF booklet that has all the artwork in it and all the lyrics and everything, just like the hardware does. And then we also sell it through iTunes. You can listen to it on Zune and a bunch of other digital distribution channels. But you know, most people buy CDs still for the type of music we're playing. But there's folks all around the world that do downloads as well. I've got some downloads from Europe and Australia, and we actually got some radio play on this all around the country. We hit number 17 on the Living Blues radio charts. Yeah. That was in February, and we got some play in Australia, New Zealand, over in Europe. It's pretty cool. It's fun. Yeah.
So is this a business or is this a hobby? This is a business.
It's a business, not a very lucrative business, but it is a business. Yeah.
One hit song though is all you need.
Yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice. Yeah.
I mean, like that guy Macklemore got on Ellen. What the heck? You get on Letterman with one good song, right?
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be cool.
He doesn't really talk to you though. He just lets you do the one song. And,
that'd be okay by me. Yeah, that'd be all right.
Sell a couple of downloads. All right. It's a lonesome highway sometimes, but Identity Theft, a great tune. I've been hearing you do that for years. I love it.
Thank you.
It is Brian Lee and the trio, also forming sometimes as the Orbiters. Brian Lee here on a Monday night. Another great Monday night here at 88 Keys. We do it live every Monday night at iLove88keys.com. And please join us also on Channel 77 in King County, Channel 23 if you're on the Broad Stripe. Comcast is 77, and we air it on Fridays at 7, Saturdays.
got my eye on you, on you, on you, on you. Down the street, I see a neighborhood. You're my baby, got my eyes on you, got my eyes on you, got my eyes on you. Ah, 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 ah. Great pleasure being here on the BluesToDo TV. Thank you very much, Marlee. We really appreciate it. How about a nice round for Mr. Hank Yonda on the bass? Russ Kammerer on the drums. I'm Brian Lee. We're the Brian Lee Trio. Thank you very much for having us.
Such tasteful music here from a blues band on a Monday night. It is 88 Keys. We do this every Monday night. Thank you for joining.
Welcome. Chillin' with Kalimba, a tribute to Earth, Wind, and Fire. The elements, just like this.
Take me back to one of the big hits. I'm sure you all remember it. Come on out here and do your thing if you feel like it. Right on.
Sing a song
Good Lord.
All right, the group is Kalimba. Can I give them some round of applause here? Doing a great job. Chazz on the vocals, Gary Tobin on guitar, Michael Cole on guitar. Come on, keep it coming, keep it coming. Deveke James on the bass. He never stopped, he never stopped. Jeff Haile on the drums. Jeff Lund on the keyboards. On the horns section, we got John Groves on trombone, Ray Baldwin on the trumpet, and Chris Siegmund on the saxophone. All right. Oh, a great band, Kalimba, doing the Earth, Wind, and Fire tribute. And Deveke James grew up in Detroit, and you played in concert with Aretha Franklin, the Brides of Frankenstein. Ooh, toured with the OJs. You've got quite a bit of experience, don't you?
Yeah, a little bit of elements here and there.
So now, where did you get your stage presence, your performing, your chops? Where did you get some of this stuff? Did you learn from an individual, or did you just study?
Well, my dad used to play blues back in his heyday, so I picked it up from him. Yeah, guitar. From there, yeah. And from that point on, from age 7 on up, I just listened to nothing but old school funk. And that's all I ever listened to. Today's technology of the new generation music is fine and dandy, but it all comes from the original source, and that's R&B, funk, and jazz, and classical, blues. And
So now, is blues something that you were exposed to growing up, or was it something that you had to seek, or was it something, I mean, Detroit had Johnny Hooker in it, so you got to have sort of seeped in somewhere. How did the blues or R&B or funk find its way?
Yeah, Johnny Lee Hooker was a friend of my dad's. They used to come over, they used to practice. This was way before I was even born. But since then, by listening to him growing up and watching him play, I just took that and applied to what I really liked, because I used to play guitar too. But then I found my niche, which was the bass and drums. So from that point on, I just stuck with bass. I like bass, and because it carries the bottom, it carries the whole, it's like that heartbeat thing. And without bass, you really ain't got nothing. So ever since then, I kept that soul in me, and kind of like, you know, tried to teach others the same as well as I tried to move along.
Okay, what's your favorite Earth, Wind & Fire song or album, either one?
I really don't have a favorite. I like them all. Yeah, I like them all. I grew up on listening to all their songs, and wow, Bernine is one of my musical bass heroes, as well as many others in the mix. But yeah, Bernine is definitely #1. And, yeah. So I try not to be him myself, but I've been doing this, you know, dancing around, hopping around since I was like 15. So this is a natural thing.
You do have some rhythm there, don't you? Yes. Your bio right here, man. Oh! You went to Central Washington University?
Yes, I did. Yep. About 77.
There's a couple members of the Cebu crew in here, huh?
77. All right, right on.
That's a great musical college. I mean,
Dan Mallett.
Who'd you study with?
Dan Mallett. Yeah.
You answered before I asked.
And Aaron Motamedy. He was one of the alumni from.
Well, and you got Yolanda or Yolita? Yolanda Adams, Karen Clark. You've been playing some gospel. You found the church choir?
No, I didn't found. Yeah, a lot of church choir stuff, a lot of national artist stuff.
Well, and rhythm guitar is an art form not everybody understands.
That's true. You gotta have that groove going. Yeah.
You got to have the rhythm. So tell me, who are some of your mentors? Who are some of the people that you studied that had rhythm guitar down?
Believe it or not, George Benson was a really good rhythm player. Let's see, another modern guy is, let's see, Pat Metheny. Some nice stuff. Believe it or not, Jimi Hendrix has a nice groove going on. Yeah. And Norman Brown, he's a new contemporary. Yeah, Norman Brown.
The Brown family?
No, I don't think so. Gary? Okay. Norman Brown. Norman Brown, he wasn't like from the Brown family.
Coleman and all those guys, Septimus, not the same connection. Okay, good.
Somebody said Bobby Brown.
Oh, Bobby. Well, now, there's the mic. Yes. So when you started playing music, what sparked you? What got you sparked?
Ooh. Wow. Just, watching the Soul Train, believe it or not. Soul Train was a big influence on me. I'd be like in the TV watching everything every guitar player did. Yeah, and Rufus and Shaka Khan, they were a big influence. Tony Maiden, yeah.
Earth, Wind & Fire was the first LP that I bought, the white one, yeah. Sing a song? Oh, I'm right there. So you could have played you could have done a Stevie Wonder tribute band. Why Earth, Wind & Fire? Is this a question I should ask you, or who should I ask? Chazz. Chazz, talk to me, will you? You sing the lead, so you are the essential part of this group. I mean, they could have found any guitar player, drummer, horn player, right? But the lead vocals. You like standing on stage? Okay, I'm digging myself a big hole here. So why Earth, Wind & Fire? Is it the spirit?
It's the feeling, it's the spirit, it's the music. It's all about a positive message. It's not about talking about what I got. I'm blinging on 20s and none of that stuff like that. It's all about a positive message, and it's great stuff for musicians. If you're a music lover, you're going to love Earth, Wind & Fire music.
Yeah, amen. It's true. It was infectious when I heard it first time. I said, I've got to buy that. I'm going to buy that record. Well, and And Earth, Wind & Fire's messages are always, I mean, sing a song, all the positivity brought everybody into Earth, Wind & Fire music.
Every nationality, from the young kids today to our age, I'm not giving away my age, but to my age, I mean, you know, it was just great stuff all the way up, and you can't beat it.
Well, the funk is there, the R&B, the soul, the groove. I do a blues TV show. Is there any thread of blues in there? There really, is it obvious or is it more subtle? Help me out.
You got a lot of blues. You know, the progressions are mostly blues and jazz, and it's just a matter of putting a little twist on it and hooking it up. But that's where it all comes from. It comes from blues. It comes from jazz. It comes from that soul, and that's what it all is, man. That's where it's at.
Yeah, Maurice White of Earth, Wind & Fire is from Memphis. He started Earth, Wind & Fire. And a lot of the earlier Earth, Wind & Fire stuff has a jazz influence to it, but has a very heavy blues influence to it, too. So although he toured with Ramsey Lewis and a few other people like that, he always came back to his roots, which were R&B, jazz, and the blues. So that's it.
Jeff Hale on the drums. You know a lot about this group, Earth, Wind & Fire, don't you? You have some of that history down.
Well, yeah, Chazz, what happened was, as a kid growing up, around my house, there was certain music you could listen to, certain music you couldn't listen to. We listened to some James Brown, but we got older, but I remember the first time my father invented the Frisbee, he heard Sex Machine, came and snatched the 45 off threw it out the door. So, when we started listening to Earth, Wind & Fire, we went out and got this album, it was Keep Your Head to the Sky. And we were in there playing, my mother was listening to the message, and she said, I don't care what y'all do, y'all listen to that kind of music. And so, as years went on and went on, everybody in this band has toured and played with so many people. Chazz and I were with another band, and Chazz got, I got this idea for Earth, Wind & Fire band. So, we said, okay, we'll try it. And then one day, you know, things went south with the band that we were in. I called Chazz on the phone and said, hey, you still got Earth, Wind & Fire? So he said, as a matter of fact, brother, I'm working on some vocals right now. I said, let's do it, and this is what you get, right here. Kalimba.
Kalimba, a tribute to Earth, Wind, and Fire. God bless you, Seattle. Let's groove. bless you. We hope we can come and hang out with you some other time. It's time for us to get ready to go. Good Lord. Before we go, everybody clap your hands like this, y'all. Get a hand check, hand check. Come on, good Lord. You know it's funky. Come on, come on. Thank you, 88. Hope to be back soon, man. Thank you. Good night, y'all. We are people of the mighty, mighty people of the sun. In our heart lies all the answers to the truth you can't run from. We are people of the mighty, mighty people of the sun. In our heart lies all the answers. Thank you. God bless. Good night, y'all. Peace.